Welcome to Gen Chem 1. This is the final review. We start with question 1. Which of the following is an amorphous solid? We need to know what amorphous means to start. Amorphous is a solid without a defined pattern. This is versus crystalline, which is a solid with a defined pattern. An example of this would be graphite. We start with A, which is a salt. Salt has a cubic shape, which is ordered. Therefore, it is not our answer. Next, we have water. A liquid is not a solid, and therefore it is not our answer. Next, we have diamond, which is repeated carbon. It has a defined shape and is not our answer. Last, we have glass. This lacks a defined pattern as it is an accumulation of transformed sand particles. It varies from compound to compound and is not the same throughout. So we move on to question 2. Which separation technique could be used to separate a liquid water propane solution? We look at A, condensation. Condensation is when a gas becomes a liquid. This is not correct. Decanting. This is pouring off a liquid to separate a liquid and a solid. Also not correct. Next we have C, which is distillation, which is used to separate two liquids with different boiling points. This could be used to separate water and propane, so this is the correct answer. Next we have D, filtration, which is using a funnel to remove a liquid and a solid. This is also not the correct answer. We move on to question 3. How many meters cubed are in 30 liters? We need to convert liters to meters cubed. We start with 30 liters. For every 1 liter, we have 1,000 milliliters. Next, we convert to centimeters cubed. For every 1,000 milliliters, we have 1,000 centimeters cubed. Next, we convert to meters cubed. For every 1,000,000 centimeters cubed, we have 1 meter cubed. This is equal to 0.03. The only answer to match this is D, which is the correct answer. And now we move on to question 4. If one sample of carbon dioxide decomposing creates 28.2 grams of oxygen and 8.4 grams of carbon, and a second sample has 5 grams of carbon and 23 grams of oxygen, are these consistent with the law of definite proportions? To start, what is the law of definite proportions? This law states no matter how much material is converted, the ratio is the same. So we start by dividing oxygen by carbon. This ratio must be the same for both reactions, but it does not matter which is on top or bottom. For this problem, we will divide oxygen by carbon. So for reaction 1, 28.2 grams of oxygen for every 8.4 grams of carbon. When we divide this out, it is equal to 3.36 per carbon. For reaction 2, we have 23 grams of oxygen, 5 grams of carbon. This is equal to 4.6 for every 1 carbon. Since these are not the same ratios, it does not follow the law of definite proportions. The answer is B. We move on to question 5, which is not a hydrogen bond. A hydrogen bond is when H is bonded to an X, where X is equal to O, oxygen, N, nitrogen, or F, fluorine. So we start with HF. This has got a fluorine in it, so it has a hydrogen bond and is not our answer. Next we have ethanol. This one's a bit harder, but since it is an alcohol group, it has an OH. And so it is not our answer. Next we have ammonia. This is an N bonded to 3 H's, and it also has a hydrogen bond, and is therefore not our answer. Next we have methane, C bonded to 4 H's. Since there are no nitrogens, oxygens, or fluorines bonded here, it is our answer. And that's all for questions 1 through 5. Look to the next video for questions 6 through 10.